What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today is an exciting day, at least for me, because today is new bucket day. So one of the things that you kind of give up when getting one of these excavators, you gain some things, the warranty, maybe a little more refinement, things like that. But one of the things you do give up is kind of the lack of attachments and accessories that are readily available. Anyone who has one of these, the first thing you do is go on Amazon and look at all the generic, like Chinese mini excavator attachments, and you quickly realize that they're not going to fit. And so I did a little digging. Shout out Ron at Rhinux Buckets. And he was able to give me some information based on the pin dimensions that led me to the fact that these machines are more or less a clone kind of a Yanmar B05 or SV05, and those machines have the same pin dimensions. And so that led me down a rabbit hole of looking for buckets for those, and this led me to this company in the UK. I will drop a link to this bucket, and they sell buckets not quite for that model, but for the SV08 and B08, and it's also the same pin dimensions for the YE0610. These have a little bit wider apart pins, but it's the same dipper gap and pin size, so it still works with the machine, because this piece kind of can move in or out, and so you're just taking up that extra gap. So this is a 6-inch bucket. Just a little comparison. This is the 12-inch bucket the machine came with. This is the 6-inch bucket I got. Again, the kind of geometry of the bucket's going to be a little bigger because it's made for a little bigger machine. But it's a great quality bucket. It's got replaceable teeth, unlike the original. It seems real nice. The one kind of not big drawback, but the drawback you get is because the pin spacing is a little bigger, you can't curl the bucket back quite as far. Like you almost like are stuck with like a little more up and a little less curled, which for my uses will be fine, and I'll show you guys what I mean here in a second. But let me just give you a close-up of this bucket. So I ordered this. It came, I think, in like less than a week from the UK, so that was super cool. So this is the bucket. You can see replaceable teeth. Comes with, compared to the original bucket, these really nice pin retention things. If you have the original bucket, you know the cotter pins get real annoying. So these are really nice. They just are spring loaded and they clip right back on there. Like that's amazing compared to the original ones. So that's close for the new one. Again, this is the 12-inch bucket it came with. But I have a bunch of drainage that I'm going to be doing, and so I just needed a narrower bucket. I didn't want to have to backfill, the huge trench that would make. So let me put this back in here. I will start up the excavator and then just give it a little curl, so you can see what I mean. It just doesn't quite come back on itself the same. Not like a huge issue, but it's worth calling out. So I'll just curl this for you real quick. So it kind of goes out a little extra far. And then the normal bucket would kind of come to like here or something. So you get a little less curl. You could put the thumb down to, make up some of that gap. But I just thought it was worth noting. So let me move the camera and I'll do a little digging with it. The ground here that I'm going to be digging is super rocky and super hard clay. So if it makes it through that, that's great. One other thing to note, the other buckets, they do sell like up to like a 30-inch SV08 bucket. You're not going to want to put one of those on here though. If you do go ahead and order from them, the machine is smaller and these buckets are going to be a little deeper, because they're made for a little bit bigger machines, so you're going to want to make sure you stick to some of the smaller sizes. I personally probably, wouldn't go over a 12-inch digging bucket or the like 24-inch or the 18-inch grading bucket. But if you do that, you should be fine. Like I said, let me move this and we'll do a little digging to show you. Okay, so I'm not going to do too much digging here because realistically this is a project or two down the line. But just wanted to show you how it works. Again, this is just falling in the side of my driveway. There's water washing down here, so we need to dig it out, put fabric in, some bigger rocks, make like a dry creek bed for water to drain. So I'm just going to do like a few scoops, just see how the bucket works, and let y'all see what's going on. As you can see, like, you're gonna have to break it up just because, I mean, the ground here is just stupidly hard. But yeah, bucket works fine. It's getting me a good little slot here. They do have some other sizes. I think you can get a 6, an 8, or a 9. So yeah, depending on what you're looking for, there you go. But that's a 6-inch bucket. And like I said, I'll put the link down in the description below. And I've got some other attachments coming on the way, some 3D printed stuff, some fun things, I think. I post snapshots of what's coming up on my Instagram first, so go ahead and give me a follow over there if you want to see that. And until next time, thank you.